Simon Pagenaud is a French IndyCar driver that drives the number 22 Chevy Delaware for Team Penske. Pagenaud started racing for Team Penske in 2015 after driving for Smith-Peterson Motorsports full-time from 2012 to 2014. In his first year for Team Penske, he did not win any races. He earned 2 podiums and won a pole at Fontana and an average finish of 10.6. His 2015 was an year. It was a learning curve, apparently, and he finished 11th in points in 2015. His 2016 was a huge turnaround, literally a big turnaround for the Frenchman. Why do I say that? Because in his 2016 season was his championship season. Simon Pagenaud won the 2016 IndyCar Series Championship against his teammate Will Power. His championship stats are 5 wins, 8 podiums, 8 poles, and an average finish of 6.1. His 2017 season was a better season when it comes to stats, but Joseph Newgarden won the title. I say 2017 was a better season than 2016 because his average finish was a 5.1. With 2 wins, 6 podiums, 1 pole, like I said, an average finish of 5.1. 2018 was a mediocre year for the Frenchman. He led 31 laps, finished in points, and an average of 8.6. Okay, while I was writing this, I thought this was the most mediocre season of his career with Penske, but I was wrong. 2015 was more mediocre, so I do apologize for that and forgive me. So here we are in 2019. Coming into the season, Simon Pagenaud was in his contract year, which meant it was either going to be his final year for the team, he would or not get resigned after the year, etc. I don't know. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. Coming into the 2019 season, Simon Pagenaud is looking to prove he is still a Penske-worthy driver. In his first start to 2019, qualifying was a struggle for the Frenchman. He started 13th at St. Petersburg, 22nd at Circuit of the Americas, 14th at Barber. He did start 5th at Long Beach. Not bad. In those 4 races, he finished 7th, 19th, 9th, and 6th. The month of May is always an excitement when it comes to IndyCar. Why? Because the Indianapolis 500 is around the corner. Literally. The man who always looks forward more to the month of May than none other than the captain, Roger Penske. If you're racing for the captain, you're expected to win races for Roger, especially the big races. But if you win the Indianapolis 500 for the captain, you get to stay with Penske. That's what Simon Pagenaud has to do if he wants to keep his job, is to get Roger Penske his 18th Indianapolis 500 win. The month of May kicks off with the Indianapolis Grand Prix. Simon Pagenaud led 5 laps that race, but the most important laps were the last 2 laps. As he was getting close on Scott Dixon, he had to go through a bunch of drivers with less push to pass. And Simon Pagenaud manages to catch up with Scott Dixon in turn number 7. As Dixon went wide, Pagenaud makes a good run on him, makes a little contact, and he manages to fly by and pass Dixon for the lead. Pagenaud manages to hold on to Scott Dixon for the remainder of the 2 laps and manages to win his 3rd Indianapolis Grand Prix victory. Great way to kick off the month of May for Simon, but wait, it gets better for the Frenchman. Coming into the Indianapolis 500, Simon Pagenaud was the favorite in the pick to win the big race. He kept that momentum by winning the pole for the 103rd annual Indianapolis 500. On race day, he leads the field down to the green. Throughout the race, Simon Pagenaud has had a dominant race, great pit stops. He had a great car. But late in the race, he needed a caution so he didn't have to worry about fuel. Luckily, a caution came out for the big wreck on lap 177.
He can't let Rossi go. Oh, we got a crash. And that is what Pagenaud needed when he was in the lead.
Sebastian Bourdais is in it. Sebastian Bourdais, Felix Rosenquist, Zach Veach, Charlie Kim.
After the red flag was lifted, a 13-lap shootout took place. If he wanted to win the big race to keep his job, he had to get to the 2016 Indianapolis 500 champion, Alexander Rossi. For the last 13 laps, it was a David versus Goliath battle for the win. At the backstretch on lap 199, with 2 laps to go, Simon Pagenaud makes a huge run on Alexander Rossi on the back straightaway, flies by and passes the American star as he takes the lead in 3 and 4. His job was on the line and he needed 1 more clean lap to keep his job. After 199 laps, he manages to hold on to lead ahead of Rossi.
3-way shootout. Is Sato even in it? Here comes Rossi. Rossi is clawing Simon Pagenaud back. Out of turn 2. Down the back stretch for the final time. And Pagenaud's trying to run away, and Rossi's not letting it happen.
Still single file. Looking outside.
Rossi on the high line. He has to tuck it back in. The short shoot.
Clear by 2.
Rossi's going to have a massive draft on Simon Pagenaud into the home stretch. Less than half a mile. Simon Pagenaud sweeps him at the May and wins his maiden Indy 500. How about that?
After being worried about losing his job next year, Simon Pagenaud wins the 103rd Indianapolis 500. The first pole sitter to win the Indianapolis 500 since 2009 from Elio Castroneves. He became the first French driver to win the 500 since Gaston Chevrolet in the year 1920. Second driver to sweep the Indy Grand Prix and 500 the same month. Simon Pagenaud is an Indy 500 champion, an IndyCar champion, but most importantly, he gets to stay with the captain.